Here and welcome back to another mod showcase, and today I'm going to be showing you a rather peculiar mod called the Extreme Farming mod. And what this basically does is it adds TNT into Minecraft, but it's not just any normal TNT. I mean, normally associate TNT with making massive craters everywhere, but no, this is completely the opposite. What it does is it actually places blocks down, and the blocks that it places down are all farming related, as you'll probably see. So if you're expecting loads of giant explosions and stuff like that, sorry, it's not like that, but it's still really awesome. So I'm going to start off with this block here, which is the dirt bomb. So we're just going to place this down, and you detonate these in the same way as normal TNT, because of course they are TNT, just different varieties that you wouldn't normally associate with being explosions. So you can actually place them directly on top of the grass or in the grass. It doesn't really make a difference, although I have noticed that if you put it on top of the grass, the radius is slightly bigger. So just bear that in mind. So I'm just going to detonate this. Now what you're probably expecting is dirt to be placed everywhere, but I'm sorry to say that it doesn't actually do that. What it does is it turns all your ground or grass surrounding it, including dirt, into farmland. And of course the farmland is being overtaken again by the grass because there's no water to keep it sustained. So yeah, it's losing all the nutrients, becoming back to grass again, which is a bit of a shame. But there is a way in this mod to actually prevent that. You can actually create something called a water bomb, and if I place it down here, for example, and then detonate it, I'm going to embed it in the ground just to show you that it works, and then detonate it, you're going to see it places down loads of puddles of water everywhere, and this should now stop the farmland from disappearing, and it should stay as farmland. So I can actually show you some of the other items in this mod. But before we do that, I'm just going to try and expand this farmland area by putting down some more dirt bombs, like so, and then I'm also going to surround them by water bombs as well. So we've got plenty of water around for the crops as well, and hopefully that means I should be able to show you the other ones much more effectively. So yeah, now this should be a chain reaction, I'm hoping. They should all explode one by one and make this whole area loads of farmland. Look at that. Yeah, look at those explosions. You've still got the same particles associated with normal TNT, but it just places down farmland instead of the lovely crater explosions. And look at that, we've got plenty of farmland to mess with. I have got a water leakage issue, but it shouldn't be too much of a problem. So next up we've got the wheat TNT. So if I'm going to place this down, you could probably already predict what this one's going to do, but I'll show you what it looks like. So we're just going to explode this. And come on, detonate. Yeah, there we go. And it basically covers a 6x6 radius in wheat crops of varying developments. So you can see we've got some ones that are just starting out and some that are fully grown. And also, if you place down the wheat on grass, which isn't farmland, let's just see what happens. Let's detonate this. What's going to happen? Boom. You can see it does place down some wheat, which is a bit of a bug. It shouldn't really be doing this, since you can't actually grow wheat on grass in vanilla Minecraft. So this is a bit of a bug, and hopefully this is fixed in the future. But anywhere where it can't place wheat, it should drop seeds, which it is doing at the moment, and some wheat if it was trying to place down a fully developed wheat crop. So yeah, that's the wheat TNT. But next we've got the carrot TNT, pretty much a similar kind of thing. If you place this down and detonate it, like so, it should cover a radius in carrot crops. And there we go, look at that. Carrots everywhere, and you can see some of the places where it hasn't been able to place them down, and it's just dropped some carrots instead. But this is a bit of a cheat for the carrot one, because you can just place down carrots, detonate them, and get loads of free carrots every time you use the TNT instead of having to wait for the crops to grow, which is a bit cheaty. And again, you can see we've got the bug of some of the carrot crops actually being placed down on grass, and that really shouldn't be happening. So yeah, that's the carrot TNT. But next up we've got the potato TNT. So if you want to have a potato gun or something and you need more ammo, you can use this. I'm sure there's some other mods you could use this with, which actually have potato guns, and then this would be really useful for you. But yeah, so you can see we've got loads of potatoes everywhere, loads of potato crops, some of them more developed than others, and also we've got some potatoes being dropped on the ground. So yeah, potatoes everywhere, and that's the potato one. Now the next one is a bit different. We've got the tree TNT, and this isn't what you're probably going to be expecting, but let's just detonate this and I'll show you what it does. And you can see, look at that texture, it's like a log, but with TNT on it, and wow, look at all those varieties of saplings. When I first detonated that TNT, I was expecting like a massive jungle tree to spawn or something, but no, what it does is it just places down loads and loads of varieties of sapling. So you can see we've got some jungle saplings here, some spruce saplings, some normal saplings, and some birch saplings. Just every single variety of sapling in Minecraft is just placed down, again in a 6x6 radius. I mean, look at all those saplings. I'm not presuming that any of these trees are actually going to grow. Well, some of them will, but once one grows, the rest of them won't be able to grow because of the shadow, and it'll have no room to grow, so the saplings will just pop up, which is a bit of a shame. So it's a bit of a pointless one, that one, but it's good if you want 1 or 2 trees to spawn of different varieties. It's just a way of randomizing tree spawns, I'm guessing. But yeah, so that's that one. Next up, we've got the pumpkin TNT. Now this one you don't actually need farmland to use, because all it does, well, I'll just show you now. It's like a pumpkin texture for this TNT, I quite like that. But you can see it just places down loads of pumpkins, and since pumpkins don't require farmland to actually grow, it will just place down anywhere. And again, it's a 6x6 radius, and it's a really efficient way of getting pumpkins if you want to make pumpkin pie, or if you want to have like a pumpkin to put on your head. But that'd be a bit pointless. Although, you could actually use this to get loads of jack-o'-lanterns, because jack-o'-lanterns are really nice to put in like an underground base to add a spooky feeling to it or something. So yeah, that's that one. And a similar idea to that, we've got the melon TNT. So if I place this one down and explode it like so, we should be getting a similar kind of outcome as that. And we should be getting melons placed down everywhere. Yes, lovely juicy melons. Okay, that sounded a bit wrong. Anyone with rude minds? Yes, lovely juicy melons. Nothing better. Oh dear, now I'm just making it worse. But let's just pop over to the rest of the items. So we've got flower power TNT next. Now this is really peculiar. I mean, look at this. You could probably guess what this one's going to do. Like so. For some reason, every time I think of flower power, I think of Scooby-Doo and the Mystery Machine, because that just has flowers on it. And I just, for some reason, associate Scooby-Doo with flower power. I really don't know why. But look at that. In fact, I don't even know if these are all vanilla kinds of flowers. Oxeye Daisy, Red Tulip. Are they in Minecraft? I don't even know. I'm that behind in Minecraft that I'm not really sure if these flowers are in vanilla or not. I'm presuming they are in vanilla. I don't think this mod has support for other mods. I am a bit confused though, because I am using Biomes of Plenty, which adds its own flower types. So I'm not sure if it just checks for all the varieties of flower in Minecraft, or if it just uses the vanilla ones. But there we go. So you can see it's a really good way of making meadows full of flowers. You just use the flower power TNT. But next up, we've got the mushroom TNT. So I'm just going to place this one down over here. Ideally, I'd go into a dark place because, of course, mushrooms like growing in dark places. And if you try and place down mushrooms in the daylight, they're not going to grow. But because we know there's a bug with this mod and they will place down, even if they shouldn't be able to place down there, well, you'll just use it on the surface. And look at that. So we've got loads of mushrooms that have actually been dropped because they can't be placed down. But some of them have kind of cheated the system and been placed down. So I suppose this is really good if you want to place items down where you shouldn't really be able to place them. So if you want some mushrooms in your garden on the surface, and normally you wouldn't be able to place them down, now you can. There you go. So you can just see it places down one variety of mushroom. It's a shame they don't have another version of this TNT for the other more red spotted variety of mushroom, but for the moment you can just deal with these horrible little brown ones. Yeah, I prefer the red ones. They're a bit prettier to look at. But for the final kind of TNT, the wart TNT, which of course is the nether wart TNT, I'm gonna have to go into the nether, and now we're gonna go through this lovely nether portal here into the nether. And before we actually do anything in the nether, I'm going to have to turn off my shaders because it's getting a bit dark in here. So let's just go back to internal shaders. Now you should be able to see things. Brilliant. So up here, we've got this square of soul sand, because of course you're going to need to place down the nether wart on soul sand, otherwise it's not going to work. So I'm just going to place this one down here and detonate it, and now we should see tons of nether wart everywhere. Should be amazing. Explosion of red stuff. Woo! Look at that. Loads of nether wart. And again, they get placed down in a variety of stages of their growth. So we've got some fully grown ones, and then some that haven't grown at all. And also, just to demonstrate that it doesn't work if you don't place it on soul sand, if I detonate it over here, some of them are going to get burnt because there's fire there, but oh well. You can see nothing is placed down. In fact, nothing is even dropped. That's what the rest of them should be like. They shouldn't be placing anything down if they're in an area where it can't place stuff down. But look at that. So that's the nether wart TNT. But let's just go back into the main world and re-enable my shaders. Actually, I'm just going to do a jump cut now because there's one last thing I want to do. And yes, it does involve placing down tons of these TNTs everywhere. Because in all my other TNT videos, there's always a comment saying you should have detonated them all together. So I'm actually going to do that now. I'm going to place loads of all different varieties of these together and detonate them So, welcome back, and as you can see, I've just slammed all the different varieties of TNT into one massive cuboid kind of shape. In fact, this is every single variety, about 20 of each, just all mashed up together, and hopefully there's a nice even distribution of TNTs in every area, so we should be able to see what this thing actually does. I've never actually tried this before. This is the first time I've actually tried exploding this many TNTs. I don't know if it's going to lag a lot, I don't know what it's going to look like. I'm presuming it's not going to be any kind of crater, it's just going to be loads of blocks placed everywhere, and it's probably actually only going to be about 1 block high. It's probably going to be quite disappointing, but we'll see how it goes anyway. Ready for the most disappointing thing ever? Let's just fly up, detonate, I don't know, the middle one. That's probably a good idea. And press F1 and see what happens. This is going to be terrible, isn't it? Oh my god.